Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome back. It's season 9 and it's part 2 as we try and win the Premier League and the Champions League and every other cup imaginable. Well, not the Carabao Cup, obviously, because we got knocked out in the last round. Here we are at the San Siro Stadium of the Champions League. What a fantastic stadium the San Siro is, and who'd imagine that Wealdstone would be playing there? Well, we are this year. This is one of those away days in Europe that we'd love to get a result here, and Stevens puts us ahead with a great shot. Only 13 minutes in from a tight angle. But 70 minutes gone, and Milan do get an equaliser here, and we draw the game 1-1. Can't complain, though. It's going to be a tough away fixture, Milan. So starting off the Champions League pretty well, I think. Pretty well. Now we've got Villa up in the league, and we could do with pushing on with a few wins, because with four of us up at the top, all separated by a point, and I believe there's a team just 2 points behind us as well. So we definitely need to maintain that top 4 finish for Champions League football, because obviously that's the goal. And we've only got one season left after this for our 10-season goal. But although I think the Champions League could well be a tall order to win, because it can come down to just a bit of a look in a one-game situation. I'd certainly want to try and win the Premier League to show that, the progress we've made with Wealdstone has made them into the or a top team in this country. As you can see, Spurs are on 27, Arsenal on 27, Man City are on 27, we're on 29, Liverpool on 30. So there's a few of us up and around in the mix there. It was a good win away at Villa to get 3-2 win, so happy with that. And then at home to Everton here, and we're going to run away with a pretty comprehensive and easy 3-0 win. Fernandes there, heading it in at the far post. So yeah, up next we've got Norwich City at home, which will be a televised game. I mean, Norwich against Wealdstone, it's the Saturday night game. Probably not the biggest tie of the weekend, I wouldn't have thought. But it clearly shows that our reputation has grown a bit for us to be considered that sort of tie. Anyway, before that, though, sorry, I forgot we had a Champions League game midweek. Before that, we are playing Thorens, which I believe is a Portuguese side, which is quite surprising to see them in the Champions League. But we do go away and win 2-0, so that's a good win in the Champions League for us. We're doing quite well Champions League-wise. Looks like we'll get into the knockout stages, no problem. Terrible mistake in defence there by Norwich. And Stevens pounced. Took it around the keeper. Mallon strokes in a penalty. And that's all we needed for this game. Again, we seem to be getting a lot of our goals in the first half in these games, which I do like. It puts me at ease when we get early goals. But yeah, 2-1 win. We go back to the top of the Premier League with that win. So really good result for us there. Leicester City up next. Obviously, we signed one of their players and they signed one of our players. So, bit of a grudge game if you like. But we went 1-0 down quite late into the second half, 72nd minute, and we managed to nick an equaliser here. Stevens again, a bit of a fortunate deflection, I might say, off the defender to loop it in. But we stay top. Liverpool failed to win as well, so a point was good enough to keep us top of the league. Up next, West Ham, and going to take care of them quite easily. We're going to run away 4-0. I think West Ham is a team I'd definitely expect to be beating at home. So expectations were met for sure with a 4-0 win. Great finish by Carboni there, like curling it in from right. And Dima put it in to make it 4. Look at that, 4 shots West Ham had, none of them were on target. That's pretty dominant by us there, so that's a really good performance. Monaco at home now in the Champions League, and Daniels tucks that away. And we're top of the Champions League table, in front of Man City, Liverpool and Chelsea, which shows the English dominance of the Champions League, which is the unfortunate thing about FM, because of the disparity financially between the Premier League teams and the rest of Europe. The Premier League, the Champions League does turn into basically, it's almost always a Premier League winner. I think in all the seasons that I've played, I think there might be one season where it wasn't an English team, but other than that, it has been a Premier League team that's won it every season. So that's why I suppose the Champions League should be within reach for us. And if I can beat every team in the Premier League, certainly plausible to win the Champions League. But yeah, that was a 2-2 draw away at Man City. Following a string of good results, we're still unbeaten though since that trip to Old Trafford where we lost 3-0. So keeping that unbeaten run going. Unfortunate to concede a late equaliser there against Brentford at home. They only had 2 shots on goal, 0.91 XG compared to our 2.35. So I feel we were unlucky not to win that one, to be honest. And away at Fulham, again, we take a lead and they peg us back with a penalty. I think that was one of those phantom penalties where a cross comes in and the whistle just goes and you didn't see any kind of incident there at all. So 3 draws back to back with Man City, Brentford and Fulham. Get back on the winning ways with a win against Leeds though. Still unbeaten in the Premier League, so still looking good. Liverpool away here, and I think I was looking for a Carboni just a whisker wide, but it was a 0-0 draw, which isn't a terrible result away at Liverpool, to be honest, especially as they beat us at home. But Burnley up next at home. Would always expect to beat Burnley. I think they're a bit of a yo-yo club. I think they've been up and down quite a few seasons while I've been playing. Ringberg with another goal there, and we do run away a 3-0 win against Burnley, which incidentally this one was on Sky as well. So our game against Man City, our game against Liverpool were not on televised, but our game against Fulham, Burnley and Norwich have all been on TV. So kind of an interesting statistic there. Top of the league again though, so we're still flying up the top of the league. Crystal Palace up next, home, and again we'll be looking for a good result against Palace, and we're going to get one. So Ringberg again slotting it in, great through ball by a Pishard, the long range pass, and we're going to win. Well, we're actually going to go 3-0 up, and they do peg us back late to make it 3-2, but we do hang on. So as we are approaching now January, this is the transfer window's open, so we are having a look at some strikers to potentially bring in. I'm very happy with Stevens and Ringberg, but the one thing about a striker is if you get one injury, in a striker, then the other guy is just not going to be able to play every game. So you do need a bit more of depth. We do have Mallon, but I am looking at to bring in somebody. So we've been having some bids, and the signing is made after this FA Cup tie against Aston Villa. So we beat Villa 3-1. Stevens is actually injured there as he gets the assist for the goal. Again, the FA Cup would be nice to have a long run in this season. But we'll see how that. So here we go. We've signed a Victor Roque from Chelsea for 47.5 million. Now Vitor Roque was like a really good wonder kid early in the game, and very well known amongst people about how good Vitor Roque is. However, Chelsea signed him and never played him, so he hasn't really developed. So he's not as good as you would expect him to be at this age in this year, because Chelsea just barely played him, and that's why we're able to get him for only 47 million from them. My scouts are still saying he can be a leading player, so I'm not quite sure how it works if a player doesn't develop because they don't get played, if they still can reach that potential later on, or if it subs their growth. Anyway, we're going to find out. He's even with his stats now, they're still very good. It's just that you've seen what Vitor Roque's stats can get to, and he can win Ballon d'Ors, etc. if you get him early. and you train him, and he can become an absolute best in the world kind of star. He's certainly not at that level at the moment. He's a good Premier League player at the level at the moment. So get our revenge against Brentford there away. We got a 2-1 win, and now we're playing PSG in the Champions League. Now this is again the group stage, but PSG away from home. We take an early lead, but PSG they're still pretty much, them and Real Madrid, I think, are the two best teams outside of the Premier League. That Florian Wirtz, unbelievably good player. But so we go 2-1 down here, and then Wirtz smashes it in again 3-1. So, like I say, he's a very good player. They've still got Mbappe. Mbappe is still fantastic. He did not leave PSG at all in my save. And 3-1 down is going to turn into 4-1 down. So not great against PSG. We kind of would need to be mixing it with them. We do pull back a couple of late goals, but it's not really going to change. Well, it doesn't change the results. Obviously, we lose 4-3, but I don't think we were completely outplayed by them, or that the scoreline would suggest that we were 4-1 down. Vitor Roque scoring 2 goals in that game, which was nice. But their 10 shots versus our 15, 5 versus 7. Our XG is a whole goal better. So when you look at it, it's a really good performance by us. So actually quite happy with that. That leaves us second in the Champions League table. Hopefully we'll finish top 8 so that we get the guaranteed progression. And that's it for this episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you. Goodbye.